Hey guys, so I had the video already, but my manager Robbie wanted me to mention a few things at the beginning. So one of those things is that you can upgrade a lead acid car to a lithium car. And that's one of the ideas that we want to present to you guys and let you know that it is possible to do this for your customer. So let's say you have a car that's on your lot and it has sealed lead acid batteries in it. And a customer comes in and says they want to buy the vehicle if it has a lithium battery. Well, with the kit or with components that you may have in a different cart, you will be able to swap those batteries from one to the other to get that sale. Now that is a possibility that a lot of people don't realize they can do. So what that means for you as a dealer is if a car is lithium or lead acid, you can swap one to the other as needed. As you'll see though in the video, to go from lead acid to a lithium battery, you'll need to cut off the tabs down at the bottom where the middle J hooks connect. So if you wanted to go back to a sealed lead acid battery configuration, you will need to figure out a way for those J hooks to connect to the frame. But that does give you the option to configure the batteries as needed for your customers. One question that this may bring up is, can the swapping of the batteries be covered under warranty? And that is no, but it does give you the option to get a lithium battery out there for your customers and provide them with something that your vehicle didn't have in the first place. Another question would be, what do I do with the lead acid batteries once I take them out of the vehicle? And that is, you can put them in a different vehicle, or you can keep them on reserve in case you need to service a car with a lead acid battery. You'll have those available for use to get your customer going again. So another thing to note is that this is on a Sirius. The reason that I bring that up is for the display. So a Sirius has the display that is capable of having a lead acid state of charge or lithium state of charge, both in the same display. On the other vehicles, there are other differences that make it where it's a little bit harder to go from lead acid to lithium, so just keep that in mind. Now we do have the capability of going from lead acid to lithium, but going back, if you needed to retrofit back to sealed lead acid batteries, that's going to be harder on the other vehicles. So just keep in mind, this is for Sirius in particular. So we hope that this gives you some ideas as to the possibilities that you can have for a vehicle. So now let's get to the video, guys. Hey guys, this is John from Star Tech Support, and Josh is filming today. And we wanted to make a little video to go over something that a lot of dealers don't realize that we're able to do. And that is, we have lithium conversion kits that use our Star Lithium batteries for converting lead acid cars over to lithium. So one of the things that you're going to get in each one of the kits that we have is a instruction manual. So it'll show you all the tools you need. It shows you how to take the batteries out, as well as all the parts that need to be ordered to put the kit together and put it in the vehicle. Inside of here, it also shows what vehicles that this applies to. So in this particular case, we're going to use the Star Sirius, and we're going to convert it from lead acid batteries over to lithium. On here, it shows you the vehicle that it applies to. So down at the bottom on this one, it shows that it has to be a 21, that's 2021, or newer, with the CAN connector. That's CAN for Controller Area Network. So inside the manual, each one has warnings, so things that apply to that vehicle that you want to pay attention to before you go to put the kit in. So like I said, in this one it tells you very clearly that it has to be 2021 and newer. Also, something that we want to point out is that when you get the lithium battery, it's not going to be fully charged when you get it. So you're going to install it, and then you would go ahead and charge it up fully before use. One of the things that people want to know is what vehicles that we have kits for. So we have them for the RXV, TXT and the Yamaha Fleet version Drive 2. The Sirius, and that's after 2021 and newer, the Star Capella and Star Classic and Sport. So if you have one of those vehicles and someone wants a lithium conversion done, you're going to be able to do it with one of these kits. So we're going to start. I'm going to show you how Josh is going to start taking the batteries out, and we're going to kind of break it up in sections so that you'll be able to see each stage of the process. Now, let me point out that the Star Sirius is one of the simpler kits to install. On some, such as the Classic, you're going to need to cut some things off, modify some frame pieces and that kind of thing, but they're pretty straightforward. But just remember that this is the simpler one of all of them. So let's get started. So guys, while Josh is taking the main battery cables loose, I want to point out that inside the manual there are all the tools listed that will show you exactly what you need to take the batteries out, and also put the battery mounting plate, the charger, every single thing is listed out in here. Then if I lay this down, you'll see that we have all of the cables, hardware, different batteries that are available, key connectors, all of the pieces that are needed. So this here is the battery mounting plate, all the way down to the brackets that hold the charger in. So you will need to set your charger up so that you're able to mount it in the car. And in this particular vehicle, it's going to end up right here, and that will get your battery a way to charge. It'll be on board. And with most of the kits, we either use the native charging receptacle, or we put in a receptacle in place of the one that came on the vehicle. So that's everything is going to be included in your kit. Once you unhook your main cables, then it's just a matter of unhooking and removing all the smaller connector cables that go between the batteries. So we're going to let Josh keep working, and then we'll come back here in a moment and show you what we've been up to. Now we're removing the center hold downs that connect to the lower tabs. We'll show you those once the batteries are out. They connect to two metal tabs that we're going to be cutting off in a later step. Once you get done with your center hold downs, then you're going to move to the outboard ones. Right here, we usually use just a ratchet with no extension. That way you're able to clear this lip. Once you have your hold downs disconnected and unbolted, it's just a matter of taking them out, and then you're going to lift all the batteries out and set them aside. So guys, as I said before, there are two metal tabs down here that these lock into. These are the hold downs that we took out of the center. You're going to pull those out along with the tub. That's the battery tub that comes out of the bottom, and it fits pretty snug. Once that tray comes out, you'll see that there is a framework underneath, and that's where we're going to use to install our battery mounting plate. Right now there are still the side hold down bolts. Those just come out with, there's washers and nuts underneath, so you'll undo those. That'll allow you to pull both of those out, and the same thing on this side. Once that's done, the only thing left is going to be your charger. Now on the lead acid charger, that is mounted under the front of the car. So inside of there, that's the charger that we're going to remove, and like I said before, we're going to put the lithium charger over on this side. That is right under the driver's side of the car. So guys, Josh is working right now to take out the charger. And one thing that I wanted to point out, as while we have this opportunity, is the reason we're taking this charger out is that the lead acid charger is 650 watts, whereas the lithium charger is 1050 watts. So it's more optimized to charge lithium batteries as opposed to this one. That's why we take this one out. And that is on the Star vehicles. So that is the Classic or Sport, the Sirius, and Capella. The other vehicles that we have kits for, we just remove the chargers so that we're using our tried and true, you know, tested Lester charger that we know works with our batteries. The charger mounts with these 10mm bolts, and we're going to remove all the cords, because the cord that you're going to use from the kit will replace the ones that are in here. If you should get the kit and it doesn't have the manual with it, these are available. All of them are available on the dealer portal. So if you go on there, you'll be able to view the instruction manual and print it out for yourself. It makes it a heck of a lot easier to replace the batteries and get the whole job done if you have the instructions. And here is the charger. So it's about to be released from the vehicle, and while that's coming out, I just want to take a minute to say that the vehicles that we list, and that is RXV, TXT, Yamaha Drive 2, and that's the fleet model, the Sirius after 2021, Capella, and Classic Sport. Those vehicles are the ones that we offer support for if you buy one of these kits. But if you guys do have one of the vehicles that are listed, then this is the perfect way to get someone a lithium battery, be able to get it converted over, and we really haven't used that many tools. This is like a little shot of like some tools that we have here, and tomorrow we're going to come back. That's why you'll see us in different outfits, but tomorrow we're going to come back and install the lithium section now, and you'll see that it really doesn't take that much to get it done. It's definitely something, as you can see, we're doing it on the floor, so you know, you don't really have to have anything to lift the vehicle up, or maybe even jack stands. Maybe that might be the most you would need, but we're going to show you how simple it is, and that you should be able to knock this out in a day easily and get your customer down the road with a new lithium battery. Hey guys, so we're back again, and the first step in installing the lithium battery is you have to cut off the metal tabs right down here at the bottom. So Josh is going to go ahead and do that, and then after that we just shoot it with a little bit of black spray paint, and that will kind of prevent the rust from that cut metal right there. So he's going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. So Josh has the battery compartment prepared now, and we are going to install the battery mounting plate. This mounting plate for the Sirius has 4 standoffs that are on the sides. The part numbers for all these parts are in the instruction manual for installing this. So if you need anything, if you have any questions, it's got everything. It's kind of all inclusive in that manual. The standoffs are designed to sit on top of the battery frame. So that frame down there, you'll see, that's why we needed to cut the tabs off in the middle so that you would have enough room for the standoffs to be. On the Sirius, the battery mounting plate has 2 wings on the sides. So there's one here and one on the opposite side. This one here in particular has 4 standoffs, 1, 2, and 2 on the other opposite side. Those standoffs will mount and sit on top of the frame that's right here. Main thing you want to make sure is that you're not pinching any wiring. See, we've got it so that the wiring is not pinched right here. It has a little bit of room right here matching on this side, and our wiring here is free to move. You don't want to pinch any wires underneath the plate. So as long as you have all of that checked off on your list, then you're ready to start drilling your holes to mount this into the frame. So one thing that we're going to point out here is that when you're drilling the holes, you're going to drill down with a 3/8 drill bit right through here. Each one that you drill, you're going to install a bolt down through the hole. What that's going to do is it's going to allow you to keep the bolt lined up, keep the plate from moving. Then you move to the next hole over here and you're going to do the same thing. So each time that you drill a hole, you'll put a bolt in there. That way the plate doesn't shift around while you're working. At this point, guys, all you're going to do is tighten your bolts up. And then we'll get started installing the battery itself. Before we go in with the battery, we're going to use some self-tapping screws to put the battery cover in the back here. So it just attaches with 3 self-tapping screws that'll go here, in the middle, and over there. So Josh is going to go ahead and put those in. Then we have the battery cover installed right here. You're going to locate this 4-pin connector right here. Now this 4-pin connector is, let me bring the light over here, has brown and black wires right there. Those brown and black wires are what supply the CAN connection to the display above the steering wheel. So this connector here is the one that attaches to the side of the battery and supplies that CAN connection into here. So that's how the battery allows the display to know how much charge it has. So if you connect the battery and the display does not reflect the state of charge, then I would check to make sure that this is connected. So guys, our battery compartment is now ready and prepared to receive the battery, and we are going to clean it up a little and then put the battery in there. The batteries, the one thing to pay attention to is the weight. So the 210 battery is very heavy, something like 198 pounds. The battery that we're going with is not that heavy, so the smaller batteries are lighter. This one here is able to be handled by one person, but if you need a hand, be careful and get an assistant to help you. The tabs on the sides of the battery line up with the holes. There are different holes for different size batteries. So the 160 would use that other hole there, the 210, 105, and so each different battery uses different holes, but they're all able to be used and pre-tapped and pre-drilled for each different battery. So now we're just going to run bolts in all these 4 holes, and then we will install our charger. So we'll be back shortly with that. So guys, right here we have our legs mounted to the charger. That's a step that's inside the manual, but we've already gone ahead and done it, and now we're going to set that down into the compartment. That'll allow us to position the charger and allow us to mark and drill our holes down through the floor. So Josh has already got his holes drilled and the legs are ready to receive the bolts. Then we'll be able to connect the charger to the battery. Alright, so this cable with the blue end right here comes in your kit. That gets connected to the charger right here. We're going to route that cord down here along the side of the battery. That's where some zip ties come in handy. So that gets routed here and gets connected to the battery. We'll show you how to do that shortly. Then you're going to find a DB9 connector. That DB9 connector is connected to the indicator light above the receptacle. That DB9 connector is going to come over here and connect to the DB9 that is on the same cable as the blue end. So we'll show you when we get that connected. We'll show you how to seal it up with some heat shrink. Then that's what connects those two together. So once we get that routed, we'll show you what we've done and we'll be right back. So guys, what I was saying before is we have the two DB9 connectors. One's male, one's female. They get plugged in together. Once that's done, you want to slide your heat shrink tubing over the connection and shrink it down so that it holds it together and seals the water out of it. So once you get done using the heat shrink, you're going to connect your blue cord end to the charger port. That's this one right here. It is a twist lock connector, so you'll see it. We're going to zoom in, and when he puts the connector together, you'll see it snap back in place, letting you know that it's connected properly. After that, we just have to connect our main battery cables. That right there is a 13mm bolt, and when you torque the bolt to the spec, it should be 105 inch-pounds. Right here, we're just using the zip ties to kind of button everything up and make sure that wires aren't just falling around. If I haven't mentioned it before, you're going to locate the 4-pin connector that's right here. That is what gets the key switch connector cord. So right now, we're just leaving this disconnected for the moment. That connects to the one that says key can connector. Okay, so that we're going to connect after we connect the wire up here in the dash. So we're going to show you that next. To connect the dash connector, we're going to reach under the cup holder and we're going to find a 2-pin black connector. You'll see it right there. Sometimes it'll be plugged in, sometimes it will not, depending on how the car has been configured. But right now this is connected, so we should be good to connect the key switch connector to the side of the battery. We're going to move over there now. So at this point, we're ready to connect the key connector to the battery. This is what allows the battery to turn on, along with the power switch on the side. That is a screw-on connector, so you just tighten it up. That is what supplies the CAN signal through the brown and black wire up to the dash. That is what's going to in turn show you that the key and battery is connected to the display. We're going to show you shortly how you can tell if that connection is good just by looking at the display. So in this example, we're going to show you at the top of the display. If you look right at the top, we're going to point right there. There are 3 dots. Those dots are going to be white. You're going to see the dots are going to change to red when that CAN connector is connected under the cup holder. So if you see now, they're red, and the state of charge now shows half. Before, go ahead and unplug it, Josh. And we'll turn the key off and back on. And we're going to show you that the display will not show an accurate battery voltage. If you notice here, it's showing full charge. But when we plug the connector in, it's going to drop down to half. That is indicating that the CAN signal is telling the display how much charge it actually has. So if you do not see red dots, that means that that connection is not good and you will not get an accurate reading of the state of charge. So the next thing to know is that the lithium battery must be fully charged at the beginning. You have to fully charge the battery for this display to update. So if you were to put the battery in and just drive, you will more than likely run out of charge, because this will not be accurate. So even though it shows half, it may be somewhere down here, and you're going to run out of power until you fully charge that battery, and then this display will auto update. Guys, the red dots on the display are only for the Sirius model. The other vehicles, such as the new Capella display, will show that the lithium-ion battery is connected. The other vehicles have their own separate battery state of charge meter. So that's something that you would install into the dash. And so that only applies, the red dots only apply to the Sirius. So just wanted to point that out. So guys, that's everything that you need to know to be able to do one of these installs. It's going to allow you to add more value for your customers if you can adapt and change the car over from lead acid to lithium if that's what they desire. This is something that you can easily do. Like I said, we have kits that are for the RXV, TXT, the Star Sirius, Capella, Classic, Sport, and the Yamaha Fleet Drive 2. This gives you lots of options, lots of vehicles that you can put these batteries in and get them to work perfectly for your customers. What I would recommend is going to the dealer portal. If you're considering offering this for your customers, you can download the PDF versions of each of these installation manuals. It'll walk you through, like I said, the tools that you'll need, the modifications that you'll need to make on each of the cars, and everything down to all of the parts that you'll need, so that when your parts arrive, you'll be able to quickly identify what came with the kit. If there's anything missing, you'll know exactly who to call and be able to get your installation done as quickly as possible. So, from Star Tech Support, we'll let you guys get back to work.